While Sam Raimi is revered as one of the all-time great horror directors, Netflix's 2024 release Don't Move highlights a disappointing ongoing trend in his career. The movie, directed by Brian Netto and Adam Schindler, has Raimi as a high-profile producer, highlighting his ongoing investment and interest in the horror genre. However, despite having helmed genre classics like The Evil Dead and Drag Me to Hell, there is a disappointing truth to Sam Raimi's movie career that Don't Move exemplifies. For all his success in horror, Raimi hasn't actually directed that many horror movies. After Evil Dead's third installment, the director gradually shifted to new territories. Notably, he directed the 2000 Spider-Man trilogy starring Tobey Maguire, considered today one of the best superhero film adaptations. Around the same time, Raimi transitioned to the role of producer, one that would become his main interest for decades to come. Don't Move is a continuation of this trend, a situation that simultaneously demonstrates Raimi's commitment to horror and underscores the disappointing reality of his career. Don't Move provides a harsh reminder that Sam Raimi hasn't directed a horror movie in 15 years, despite producing numerous hits. The success of Don't Move proves Sam Raimi never left horror. Since his 2009 hit Drag Me to Hell, Sam Raimi has been mysteriously reticent about directing horror movies. Looking at his directing credits in the genre, his work has historically been outstanding, adding to the question of why he wouldn't want to return. Clearly, it is not a matter of a lack of passion for horror, as his producers list mostly features titles from the genre, and popular ones at that, including many additions to the Evil Dead series, Don't Breathe, and the Grudge franchise. With Don't Move's positive reviews, Raimi demonstrates his horror eye remains keen on exploring new fears, gripping scenarios, and styles. The movie follows a cat-and-mouse chase between a charming serial killer and a young woman whose body is slowly becoming paralyzed. Don't Move simple, yet powerful claustrophobic terror carries Raimi's stamp, and urges his return as director more than ever. In 2023, news about Sam Raimi and James Wan's new project opened the conversation for a new horror film possibly inspiring the Evil Dead director back into the hot seat. Although he has produced many horror hits throughout his career, the return of Raimi's characteristic visual style would no doubt bring about new horror sensations that could compete with Blumhouse box office hits like M3GAN, Insidious, and Five Nights at Freddy's. Sam Raimi already teased a great horror directing return with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. 15 years after Drag Me to Hell, Sam Raimi confirms he will direct a new horror movie. Actress Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Since Drag Me to Hell, Raimi has only directed 2 other movies. After his arguably off-brand directorial participation in Disney's Ounce the Great and Powerful, Raimi hinted at his horror roots with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The MCU movie's horrific elements and daring visuals were well received and praised by critics and audiences alike. Even though Raimi recently directed 2 horror TV series and 1 short film, his minimal participation was not enough to excite those craving the return of his Evil Dead glory days like the director's horror films before it. The Doctor Strange sequel distinguished itself from other titles, revealing that the Spider-Man director hasn't lost his touch with the genre. Since then, the expectation was that Sam Raimi would break his 15-year horror drought. While, 2 years on, this promise is yet to come to fruition, it seems that his participation in Marvel-inspired Raimi's horror movie return with the mysterious thriller Send Help. While Don't Move represents a continuation of a somewhat disappointing Raimi trend, the indications are that it could be about to come to an end.